So let's discuss the buyer utility map. Okay, so the map essentially gives us elaborately what kind of or where the company features. Okay, so let's say on the horizontal axis we have stages of customer experience. For example, customer gets the delivery of the product, customer is using the product, uses the supplements, go through maintenance, support and so service and so on, and then dispose the product. These are different stages the customer uses or experiences the product. On the vertical axis we have utility that the customer derives from the product. For example, your productivity gain, or this product makes your life simple, like your simplicity gain. This product gives you convenience, or in terms of adds your convenience. This product can reduce your risk, or is it a fun, or adds to your personality and so on. The product can have environment friendly and so on. So essentially, if we look at this map, you have 6 into 6, 36 different sales in your utility map. So then what we try to do is you try to map, you can take it as an assignment and think of any product and any company, map their products in different sales. Okay, so let's say take the example of a car company and see whether it is adding to customer productivity, or whether it is adding to simplicity, or whether it is reducing risk and so on. You try to plot your company's offerings across each sales, whether your company is in this stage of the product, let's say in the maintenance stage, is it giving simplicity or is it adding convenience. So you add to your products, and the next you take your competitors product and map the competition where the competition is present. So what will happen that, see, it is impossible for an organization to fill all these 36 cells in this case. You will probably fill about 10-12 cells, that is okay. So let's say in some sales only you provide the benefit, versus there will be sales where only the competition has benefits, competition has positioning. So what will happen, where both are present, that we call as your red cells. So which is basically highly competitive space. Where there is blank spaces, those are your blue cells, which is basically gives you complete open fields. So you can identify your products such that they can fill many of those blank spaces. This also comes from the idea of, if you have read somewhere, the idea of blue ocean and red ocean. The concept is that typically in red ocean, when you have many companies competing for the same customer and all, they fight very hard, and it is very hard battle. It's like bleeding red kind of thing. So that is the idea of a red space or red ocean. Whereas blue ocean is, there is enough empty space. The customer is not served today. That is unmet customer need. So that gives you free hand. So the idea is that if you focus too much on the red space, you will bleed. It is difficult to win in those games. You need to, what will happen eventually, if it's a very hard competition for those kind of value proposition, you will need to fight hard on pricing and so on, where your margins will drop. Whereas if you have empty spaces and it is feasible to fill those empty spaces, that gives you more leverage, that where you are free to price and so on. You are not followed closely by the competition. That gives you empty space or more freedom in terms of operations. That's your idea of a buyer utility map.